Before we get into the latest on the Dallas Cowboys, a reminder of the ongoing sub-battle this month against the relevant NFC East team. The Commanders are way behind us. We have a narrow lead over the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's make sure we keep that going as September wraps up. Hit that sub button for more free Cowboys YouTube videos every single day. We will get into the Kyle Pitts, Ezekiel Elliott, plus some CeeDee Lamb, Tank Lawrence, maybe injury updates. But first, the offensive line, the big concern, right? Tyron Smith was active in Week 3, did not play after he tweaked his knee. At practice today, Mike McCarthy said they'd all be with the rehab group. To the open portion visible to practice, to reporters, very, very limited group. Tyron Smith was not out there. Does he mean that he's more behind? I don't know. We're not really going to know more until Thursday, Friday, etc. So we'll keep an eye on Tyron Smith. If he can't go, it needs to be Tyler Smith out there, in my opinion. Zack Martin also missed Week 3 with that ankle injury. Cowboys said he was fine. Okay, he wasn't. He was in the rehab group, as was Tyler Biadasz. So hopefully at least one of those guys can get back out there, or else I will be anxious about this offensive line against a very dangerous Patriots defense. And the Cowboys did make a practice squad move along the O-line as well. There was an open spot. They filled it with Billy Price, who has bounced around the NFL, first-round pick by the Bengals. To be blunt, he's bad. He's not someone you actually want getting real snaps. He's not someone you can rely on. He was tied for third, one of those two, in sacks allowed among centers last season with the Arizona Cardinals. That's not good. The run blocking was not very good. So Billy Price is not a player. Practice squad caliber player on the practice squad, that's fine. You just don't want him out there getting real reps that matters. So the things to monitor, to recap, Tyron Smith, knee injury, can he go? Tyler Biadasz, hamstring injury, can he go? Cowboys swore Zack Martin was going to be fine, and he wasn't last week. So I have to see them get practice reps Thursday and or Friday, at least get a limited work on the participation report before I go, they're fine. They're going to be out there. I don't trust the Cowboys when it comes to injuries. How can we? They have not always been the most honest group in the past. So what then is your confidence level over the offensive line injuries? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. It is today's pinned comment, by the way. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, cool. Take advantage of it, head down there, and go vote. Other notes, and I'm going to choose to believe that Michael Gehlken is getting good information, because I trust Gehlken, and not, deceptive information from the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb and DeMarcus Lawrence were not at the open portion of practice for the Cowboys. Gehlken reports it's a veteran rest day for both guys. Two guys that are worthy of getting veteran rest days. Lamb has run a lot so far. DeMarcus Lawrence is an older player, doesn't need to be out there on all Wednesdays. Tony Pollard is getting a lighter day as well. It would not be the first time, though, the Cowboys have leaked, it's a vet rest day. It's actually a groin injury. It's happened before. So we'll know more in like 3 hours when the injury report comes, maybe 2 hours by the time you watch this, whatever. So I'm going to put veteran rest day in parenthesis. And hopefully that ends up being the case for the Cowboys, because you need those guys pretty badly. The Kyle Pitts trade rumors seem strong, but that's how they were taken, I suppose. They were quite hot on social media the last 24-ish hours. The Cowboys liked Pitts coming out, like everyone did. But all the Kyle Pitts to Dallas stuff was speculation, not even speculation, desire to get the good players being underused in Dallas. I would love Kyle Pitts in Dallas. I want to make that clear. We spent a lot of time talking about him in the draft process. I told you guys he had a better shot of getting Penei Sewell than Pitts, which was right, by the way. You're not going to get Kyle Pitts from Atlanta. I will break down why Even though the Falcons aren't using him, I get all of that. Why I would love him. We'll break that all down. Just keep your hopes low, guys. Just keep that in mind. More on that to come, but first, today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. You're not battling thousands of other players, pros, and sharks. You just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. You can earn up to $10 into $250 with just a few simple taps. It does not take long to submit your entry as well. Here's one of mine this week. I do have Dak Prescott more than 229.5 passing yards. It's not that high of a number, even as the offense is more of a short passing game, and call it Texas Coast. It's the West Coast offense. It's a West Coast offense. Derrick Henry, less than 74.5 rushing yards. The Bengals defense is good. Derrick Henry has not been very good as of late. And I'll go Calvin Ridley revenge game, more than 65.5 receiving yards. I'm going with the power play. You can do the flex play. It gives you some incentive if not all 3 picks end up being correct, but that's okay. I'm going power play because I'm an aggressive player. 5x return if you do the power play. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comments and the description. Again, that's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use code CLNS for that first deposit match. All right, the Cowboys tight end room. Jake Ferguson's been fine. There have been some misses in the blocking game, by the way. Your second-round pick, Luke Schoonmaker, has been very quiet so far, which he missed time. It's understandable there. Kyle Pitts was a 1,000-yard receiver in his first season. That is borderline unheard of at the tight end position. And you might be thinking to yourself, okay, why did Kyle Pitts' numbers drop so bad from 2022 when he was injured to what he's done so far this year? This is what happens when you go from a not quite fully cooked Matt Ryan to Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder. It is not that Kyle Pitts is bad. It's that the quarterbacks are. And that is an issue in Atlanta, understandably so. But the Falcons are not going to give away their great young tight end, guys. If you don't have to just believe me if you don't want to. You can take our friend of the show, Jane Slater's word for it. Cowboys are going to bolster their offense. Heard the show. It was ESPN RG3, by the way, saying Dallas should call Atlanta. Jane checked in to a Falcons source. The response, LOL, no way. Which I saw some people take as, that means they're open to it. What? It's the exact opposite of that. Like somehow, no way meant, well, they would only say no way if they would listen. What? Doesn't make any sense at all. Don't get your hopes up here, guys. You can pine after him if you want to. But Kyle Pitts' iffy usage doesn't, and it's not great usage. I agree with that. I think we would all agree on it. Doesn't mean the Falcons are going to give away their number 1 tight end when they live in 2 tight end packages, mind you, who is a big part of their long-term plans, who they spent the number 3 pick on, who is a good football player, and they are contenders. Not the same level as Cowboys contenders, but they think they can win the NFC South. They're not going to give away Kyle Pitts right now. It does not make sense. So drop a more realistic name in the comments section. Maybe it's a corner. Maybe it's an offensive lineman. Good luck finding one. Name a player who you want to trade for right now. We're going to go back to RG3 today. Go figure, right? He and others, to be fair, whether it's fans, media, whatever, have claimed the Cowboys are missing Zeke in the red zone. And make no mistake, the offense was bad in the red zone this past week, especially in week 3. They have not been very good. But claiming Zeke is the reason is missing the actual reasons why. My guy Skywalker Steele posted these photos. We'll show them here. Jeff Schwartz did a great job showcasing the actual All-22, and I'd show it, but the NFL will sometimes get mad if you post the all-22, so we're just going to do the screen grabs here. Where's Zeke going? Where's Zeke going? Where's Zeke going? Where's Zeke going? Go through them all one more time. By the way, it should be a bad sign that your tight end, Jake Ferguson, is looking the wrong way on several of those plays. Zeke ain't getting there. TJ Bass looking the wrong way. Slow down there, producer Chris. A lot of defenders in the way. Ferguson on this next one, looking the wrong way again. You think Zeke's going to score there? You think Zeke is going to battering ram his way through? Like, RG3's response was, well, the evidence is they lost Zeke and they have no touchdowns, or they haven't been as good this year. Okay. The claim, which what we're making here, the claim that you're missing Zeke, who has not been bad. I'm not trying to make this like an anti-Zeke thing, by the way. I'm just talking about this Cowboys team. The claim that you're missing Zeke, more than 3 starting offensive linemen, 2 of whom are probably going to be Hall of Famers. What are we doing out there? That's not what happened. You ran the ball very effectively until you got inside the red zone. You missed some critical blocks up front. I think your passing game struggles were game plan scheme-based. Your run game struggles, you're missing blocks in the red zone, you're going to have a bad time. Like, the red zone is bad. If you want to get Hunt Lipke more involved, Rico Dowdle more involved, sure, fine. This idea that you just miss Zeke is missing the point. It's just taking the low-hanging, big-name fruit, and it's just not accurate. So we'll spend some more time on this. In general, not specifically for the red zone, so I'll open the door up for more variations here. Do you miss Ezekiel Elliott? And I would say, can't say you miss prime Zeke, because prime Zeke was awesome. This version, the last few years of Zeke. Why for yes and for no in the comments section. I don't. I will forever love what Zeke offered early on in his career, but it's 2023. Honestly, Rico Dowdle, the job he did against Arizona, I'm down to give him more touches. That screen dump off, those 2 plays, the touchdown, and the unreal, like making 8 guys misplay. Do we think Zeke's doing that? Like the current version of Zeke? I do not think so. Even Jerry Jones, who I do believe is planning a little video honoring thing for Zeke before the game on Sunday, had this to say. Zeke's unique physicalness is always nice to have. It is very good to have. We think of physical on short yardage, and we probably should. But I do not think that the physicalness from the running back is contributing to us not getting in the end zone. It is not. Jerry's right. I don't say that very often, by the way. Jerry's right. The short yardage stuff, sure, you've actually been good in short yardage spots, though. The lack of Zeke is not why the red zone issues have been there. Quarterback can't throw into triple coverage on 3rd and goal when you're down by 2 scores late in the 4th. Can't do it. Your offensive line cannot miss as many blocks as they have. Your running backs, which I think was more of a week 2 issue, have to go into the right holes. Or your tight end on the jet sweep play has to go into the right hole when it was there for a touchdown. Your receivers have to get open. Your game planning has to allow for the receivers to get open. You're red zone away from once again being an elite offense. Let's get it figured out. Not because Zeke is not there. Zeke was so great on the 3rd and 1 plays. They haven't had those in the red zone this year, right? That's how it goes. We will have more coverage for you this week and every single day. Hit that sub button right now.